I just briefly mentioned this sutta. Mulapariyaya sutta, the root of all things. The first sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya. If you try to study the Majjhima Nikaya and you come with this first sutta, you're like chaos like that. Blow, don't know how to proceed. It's so, cannot make head or tail out of this sutta. Because it goes like this. Thus have I heard. On one occasion, the Blessed One was living in Ukata in the Subhaga Grove, at the root of a royal sala tree. There he addressed the monks thus, Bhikkhus. Bhante, they replied. The Blessed One said this, Bhikkhus, I shall teach you a discourse on the root of all things. Listen and attend closely to what I shall say. Yes, Bhante or Bhadante, the monks replied. The Blessed One said this, Hear, Bhikkhus, an untaught ordinary person who has no regard for noble ones. Here he says no regard for noble ones. Other places he says no, who does not see, who does not see noble ones. Who has no regard for noble ones and is unskilled and undisciplined in their Dhamma. Who has no regard for true men and is unskilled and undisciplined in their Dhamma. Perceives earth as earth. Having perceived earth as earth, he conceives earth. He conceives in earth. He conceives from earth. He conceives earth to be mine. He delights in earth. Why is that? Because he has not fully understood it, I say. Similarly, he perceives water as water, fire as fire, air as air, beings as beings, gods as gods, Pajapati as Pajapati, Brahma as Brahma, the gods of streaming radiance as the gods of streaming radiance, etc. And in the same way, he perceives something, and then he, having perceived something, he conceives that something, and then he conceives in that something, and then he conceives from that something, and then he conceives that something to be mine, and he delights in that something. Similarly, he perceives the seen as the seen. He perceives the heard as the heard. He perceives the sensed as the sense. This sense means the smell, taste and touch. And then he perceives the cognized, the thoughts as the cognized, etc. So, having perceived this, he conceives that thing, and then he conceives in that thing, he conceives from that thing, and he conceives that thing to be mine, he delights in that thing, because he has not fully understood it. And then the disciple in higher training, the Buddha said, Bhikkhus, a bhikkhu who is in higher training, whose mind has not yet reached the goal, and who is still aspiring to the supreme security from bondage, directly knows earth as earth. Having directly known earth as earth, he should not conceive earth. He should not conceive in earth. He should not conceive from earth. He should not conceive earth to be mine. He should not delight in earth. Why is that? So that he may fully understand it, I say. Similarly, for all the other things, monk in higher training, that means a Sekha, an Aryan monk, but who is not yet an Arahant. He knows the things in the world, and it's not that he knows. He should train himself not to conceive the things in the world. Conceive means to think about. And why? Because so that he may fully understand it. So Aryan disciple, he has not fully understood it yet. So he trains himself not to be attached to the things in the world. And then the Arahant, Bhikkhus, a bhikkhu who is an Arahant with asavas destroyed, who has lived a holy life, done what had to be done, laid down the burden, reached the true goal, destroyed the factors of being, and is completely liberated through final knowledge, directly knows earth as earth. Having directly known earth as earth, he does not conceive earth, he does not conceive in earth, he does not conceive from earth, he does not conceive earth to be mine, he does not delight in earth. Why is that? Because he has fully understood it, I say. So an Arahant does not conceive, does not think about the things in the world, does not have notions about things of the world. So what does all this mean? You see this one, the first one, we go back to the first one, Putu Jana, an ordinary person, he perceives earth as earth. That means when he perceives something in the world, he perceives it as it appears to him. So, we live in the world of the six senses and we believe the world of the six senses to be real. So, we believe our six senses fully and we take things according to what we see, we hear, etc. And then having perceived earth as earth, he conceives earth, he thinks about earth. He has a conception, an idea about earth. And then he conceives in earth, he conceives from earth. What does this mean? He conceives in earth and he conceives from earth. I think it means when he sees something, he has a concept about this thing and he conceives in earth. It means he conceives an object in earth. And then he conceives from earth. That means he conceives a subject apart from earth. So you have an I, you have something outside. So this I that perceives this thing outside, he likes that thing, he wants to possess it. So, if anything in this world gives us, for example, beautiful sights, attracts us, then we are attracted by it, we want to possess it. Beautiful sounds, beautiful smells, etc., taste, etc. So, that's why I said that we live in this state of altered consciousness where we don't see things in the proper perspective. We believe our six senses, we believe whatever we see, we hear, smell, etc. It's only when we develop our mind through meditation, we go into a higher state of consciousness, then we can see it in a different way. So the higher jhanas we attain, the higher, the clearer the picture becomes to us. And the Buddha always emphasized the fourth jhana, because the fourth jhana, the Buddha says, all the things are seen very clearly. Even when we develop the lower jhanas, as we cultivate samadhi, the mind becomes calmer and calmer. Slowly, the outside world falls away from you. For example, you are concentrating on your breath. You keep paying attention to your breath. And slowly, if you are able to focus on your breath, you are no more conscious of the outside world, and after that, you are no more conscious of your body. That's why the Buddha says that the body is alien to us. It's a creation of the mind. It's like the world is a creation of the mind. It's not really us. It's a creation of consciousness. That's why in the Samyutta Nikaya, when the Buddha talks about the 5 khandhas, the Buddha says that consciousness is like a magic show. We see ourselves one lifetime after another lifetime. Chotuahi, consciousness chotuahi.